This is something you need to hear right now. There are people out there who don't just want to take advantage of you for a moment. They want complete control over your life. They manipulate, twist the truth, make you doubt yourself, and gradually isolate you from everyone around you. These people aren't just selfish or toxic. They have a deeper agenda. They want to control you. You might not see it at first. They show up as friendly, helpful, and genuinely caring. But don't be fooled. That's just a mask. The moment you start relying on them, believing they're the only ones who truly understand you, that's when you're trapped. Denzel Washington once said, "Just because someone smiles at you doesn't mean they're your friend." And that has never been more true than in this case. Evil people will make you feel guilty for protecting yourself, pressure you to sacrifice for them. And when you don't comply, they'll paint you as ungrateful. Have you ever met someone like that? If you have, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share could help you recognize the clearest signs to protect yourself from these people. When someone deliberately and repeatedly takes advantage of you, it's a clear sign that you're dealing with a dangerous individual. These people don't just exploit you for short-term gains. They want to turn you into a puppet, manipulating your life at every turn. They distort reality, twist the truth, and toy with your emotions, gradually putting you in a position where you feel powerless. Their ultimate goal is to control your life and every decision you make. Recognizing these dangerous individuals can be incredibly difficult. At first, they may appear genuinely kind, always willing to help, making you believe they truly care about you. But over time, that kindness transforms into a trap. What they give is never without strings attached. It's a tool of manipulation designed to make you feel obligated to repay them. They won't force you outright, but they will use guilt and fear to bend you to their will. If you resist, they'll make you feel like you're selfish, ungrateful, or even heartless. Their manipulation doesn't stop at your emotions. They slowly isolate you from other relationships, planting doubts about your friends and family, making you believe that only they truly understand and care for you. By the time you realize what's happening, you may have already lost the people who would have stood by your side. This kind of control can leave you dependent, confused, and slowly losing your sense of self. However, exploitation isn't just about gaining personal benefits or attention. One of the most insidious forms of manipulation is gaslighting, a psychological tactic that distorts reality, making you doubt your own memory, thoughts, and perceptions to the point where you lose trust in yourself. These manipulators fabricate or twist past events, deny promises they once made, and even alter reality so convincingly that you begin to question your own sanity. Their goal is to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you uncertain about everything you remember or feel. The more you second-guess yourself, the easier it is for them to maintain control. This isn't just a random occurrence. It's a toxic strategy that can wear down your mental and emotional strength over time. Manipulators have an uncanny ability to control your emotions, making you feel guilty even when they are the ones at fault. They operate like emotionless machines, seemingly indifferent to the feelings or needs of others. When someone around them is in distress, they don't feel compelled to help. On the contrary, they might even take pleasure in it. To them, another person's suffering is just another opportunity to further their dangerous schemes. If you're feeling down or in need of support, they may dismiss your pain with remarks like, "You're overreacting," or "Why are you even worried about this?" But the danger doesn't stop at indifference. They weaponize your emotions to tighten their control over you. By planting seeds of guilt, they make you believe that you are responsible for their happiness, as if their emotional well-being depends entirely on you, even when it has nothing to do with you at all. For them, self-interest always comes first, and they have no regard for the consequences others may suffer. If they do something seemingly generous, it's never out of genuine kindness. It's always a calculated move to ensure they get something in return. And if they don't get what they want, they won't hesitate to turn on you, even resorting to humiliation and verbal abuse. Another defining trait of these individuals is their utter disregard for boundaries. They have no qualms about invading your privacy, exploiting your vulnerabilities, or taking advantage of your kindness. When you try to set limits, they don't just ignore them. They may even act offended, as if you were being unfair to them. You might hear lines like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" A tactic designed to make you feel guilty and gradually accept their intrusions. If their words or actions hurt you, don't expect them to apologize. Instead, they might retreat into silence, withdraw affection, or make you feel as if you were the one causing problems. They may employ the silent treatment, ignoring your messages or acting distant, not to process their emotions, but to punish you for daring to speak up. This psychological warfare conditions you to fear conflict, making you more likely to tolerate mistreatment just to maintain peace. Rather than taking responsibility, they shift the blame onto you, forcing you to second-guess yourself instead. Another key characteristic of these toxic individuals is their constant need for recognition and superiority. They live under the delusion that they are inherently better than others, entitled to special treatment and privileges. In their minds, their desires always take precedence over everything else, and they expect people to cater to them first. This arrogance leads them to disregard the feelings and rights of others, as they believe themselves to be above fairness or morality. Their sense of entitlement doesn't just manifest in personal relationships, it extends into their professional and social lives as well. Rules and boundaries mean nothing to them. They demand excessive privileges, expecting everyone around them to accommodate their every whim. And if they don't get what they want, they will stop at nothing to regain control. Whether through subtle manipulation, coercion, or explosive outbursts, they believe that everything should belong to them simply because they see themselves as more deserving than others. To them, people are merely tools to be used for their personal gain. In relationships, they crave admiration, loyalty, and unwavering devotion, but rarely reciprocate with sincerity or effort. Their hunger for validation leads them to look down on those who disagree with them or dare to challenge their authority. They won't hesitate to degrade others through backhanded insults, passive-aggressive remarks, or outright public humiliation. Anything to maintain their illusion of superiority. Their arrogance is nothing more than a fragile shield masking deep-seated insecurity. To compensate for this, they constantly seek to assert their superiority by belittling others. They may exaggerate their achievements, overstate their importance, or pretend to be more knowledgeable than they actually are, all to sustain the illusion of their own greatness. When confronted with the truth, they react defensively, either by making excuses, attacking others, or outright denying the issue altogether. Rather than accepting any flaws or mistakes, they will go to great lengths to protect their ego and deflect responsibility. The most telling sign of a truly toxic individual is their willingness to hurt others. These people don't just manipulate to gain an advantage. They manipulate, control, and inflict harm simply for the sake of it, leaving behind deep emotional, psychological, and sometimes even physical scars. Their tactics manifest in various ways. They may deliberately create conflicts among those around them to weaken relationships. They spread rumors, distort the truth, and fuel misunderstandings. To achieve this, they have no qualms about disregarding the emotions and well-being of others. They thrive on chaos, intentionally stirring up tension and drama to maintain control. They exploit disorder to manipulate, destabilize, and weaken those around them. To achieve this, they will use lies, deception, and calculated tricks to break apart relationships and sow division. Even worse, they twist reality to fit their narrative, making you question your own judgment. Their actions can leave you confused, doubting your values, perceptions, and self-worth. These toxic individuals don't just manipulate people individually. They are masters at creating toxic environments that leave you feeling trapped, powerless, and dependent. They employ subtle psychological tactics like gaslighting, making you doubt your reality, or deliberately isolating them by creating distance between you and others. These manipulations serve a far greater purpose than just short-term gain. They are designed to slowly erode a person's mental strength, making them increasingly reliant on their manipulator for validation, approval, or even the slightest sense of security. This is how toxic individuals seize control, by turning you into puppets, without them even realizing it. Once caught in their web, you will suffer lasting emotional damage. The deeper their control takes hold, the more self-esteem erodes, leaving individuals feeling powerless and incapable of making their own choices. The more dependent a person becomes, the easier it is for the manipulator to take complete control of their life, without them ever seeing it happen. One of the most terrifying traits of these individuals is their absolute refusal to take responsibility. When exposed or confronted with consequences, they immediately deflect blame, manipulate the situation, or even outright deny their actions. Admitting fault is never an option because their goal isn't to fix relationships or improve themselves. It's to control and harm others for personal gain. This isn't a coincidence. It's a deliberate pattern of behavior, repeated over and over to inflict damage, hinder others' growth, and break them down mentally. When held accountable, they will always find someone else to take the fall rather than reflect on their own mistakes. Lacking self-awareness, they distort reality to cast themselves as the victim, making others feel guilty instead. In relationships, this is especially dangerous. If they hurt someone, they will never own up to it. Instead, they will craft endless justifications, or even turn the situation around to attack the victim. When their actions lead to serious consequences, they will dodge accountability, blaming circumstances, other people, or anything else besides themselves. This refusal to take responsibility erodes trust in any relationship. Those around them begin to question their sincerity, wondering if there's any hope for them to recognize their mistakes and change. But the truth is, they won't change, because deep down, they don't believe they've done anything wrong. Beyond avoiding responsibility, these individuals also operate under the belief that they are inherently different from others. They see themselves as exempt from consequences, entitled to special treatment, and above the rules that govern everyone else. To them, admitting mistakes isn't a sign of growth, it's a sign of weakness. This mindset creates a dangerous cycle. They continue to harm others, never facing consequences, never changing. Their irresponsibility extends far beyond personal relationships. It seeps into their work ethic as well. They miss deadlines, procrastinate, or make promises they never intend to keep. When problems arise, they choose avoidance over accountability, leaving others to clean up the mess they created. This not only destroys personal relationships, but also weakens teamwork and trust in professional environments. While those around them suffer the consequences of their actions, they continue to act as if they bear no responsibility. Dealing with these individuals is incredibly difficult. However, recognizing the warning signs, manipulation, lack of empathy, entitlement, harmful behavior, and avoidance of responsibility can help you minimize their impact on your life. These people thrive in chaos and instability because it allows them to maintain control and exploit others. The best way to protect yourself is to establish firm boundaries, refuse to let them manipulate you, and stand strong in your values. By understanding these signs, you can navigate relationships more wisely and protect your mental well-being. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone who might need to hear this. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future content. Thanks for watching.